Hello, brothers and sisters. On this video, I'm gonna talk and help you to understand a little bit more about Till Death Do Us Apart. I wrote down some phrases and ideas because, as you see, my English is not my first language, is pretty broken. So I will read it here, not too much, and I'm gonna make this quickly. So let's learn more about this. Where this idea of till death do us apart comes from, and what is wrong with these teachings and misinterpretations about putting away what it really means. Let's talk about Mark chapter 10, verse 9 to 11. It is also the same as it in Matthew chapter 19. Let's talk about and understand separation and verse divorce and the meaning of divorce itself. And also, in conclusion, let's discuss and understand First Corinthians chapter 7, verse 39, which is the same thing also in the book of Romans, chapter 7. I guess it's the verse 10, 11. Well, let's get started. So, till death was apart is part of the marriage ceremony vows, which comes from a misinterpretation, distortion of the scripture, right understanding and right words. But let's start by Mark chapter 10, verse 9 to 11. It says, "What therefore God has joined together, let not men put asunder or separate." And in the house, his disciples asked him again of the same matter. And he said to them, Jesus, "Whoever shall put away his wife and marry another commits adultery against her." So, one thing that is very important to understand, Jesus didn't Jesus didn't fall on Pharisees' trap, on Pharisees' question. So Jesus didn't answer Pharisees' question. Instead, Jesus go to the point, the problem. The problem was the putting away. Putting away was a kind of separation, which means the marriage was not terminated. The wife was just put aside and was not free to marry again. So she was not assisted. So she was forced to commit adultery. This is what Jesus also points on Matthew chapter 5 as well. And there it is where actually start the problem and the conflict. Basically, Jesus was always with conflict with the Pharisees. Okay, so uh, separation is not a divorce. This is the point. In the days of Jesus, the separation practice was the putting away. So the women was put aside without being freed to marry again and without assistance due to that society culture. So she was not free to marry another guy and had no assistance, no money. So basically, she was put in a situation where she was or forced to commit adultery or to be a prostitute. And so this is what the problem Jesus was against. Is the same thing issued in Malachi chapter 2. There is talking about putting away. The same problem, not divorce. What is divorce? Divorce means to cut off. It means an incision. It means to terminate it, to put an end to the marriage in a proper writing bill and liberating parties to another marriage. This is the meaning, this is the purpose of divorce. Simple as that. If you go to the scripture, the original words, there is a huge difference between putting away and divorce. Okay? The apostasion. So this is the correct meaning, and I hope you get this understanding, because was the Catholic Church who messed it up on this subject, on this text, and preached this and put a lot of blame and problems and sorrows. So let's get to the right understanding. So on the 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 39, it says, a wife is bound by the law as long as her husband lives. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will. Here is what the text says. But what have been taught, what have been preached, it would be something like this. The wife is bound by the law as long the man she once lived or she once married. But if the man she once married be dead, you see the difference? The text is not talking about a woman and a man. It's talking about a wife and a husband. So if they get divorced, she is not a wife anymore, and he's not a husband, and she has no husband anymore. You understand that? So here he's talking about a wife and a husband, a marriage couple, not a divorced couple. So may God bless you. The ideal scenario would be married and not get divorced. But this is an ideal world. So divorce is not a sin. So we are free to get divorced and remarried. And I'm gonna let the link of another video I made on this subject, especially about Deuteronomy chapter 24, and also about this putting away in Matthew chapter 19. So may God bless you. Keep the faith and keep studying the scripture. See you.